Hey YouTube family, major news, Silicon Valley, the 16th largest bank in the US collapsed. This is going to have major implications that we're going to go over. If this is your first time to the YouTube channel, I'm Dinko, the realtor. I've been in the real estate game since 2016 and I provide game-changing data and analysis you're not going to find anywhere else. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because this kind of honesty and analysis you're not going to be able to find anywhere else. Do me a favor, smash that like button. It'll really help the YouTube channel grow. And as a licensed real estate agent in the state of Utah, I specialize in helping people just like you along the entire Wasatch Front, the greater Salt Lake area. I have people reaching out to me all the time and I absolutely love it. My contact information will be down below in the description. Now, let's go over this information here really quickly. Silicon Valley Bank is shut down by regulators in the biggest bank failure since the global financial crisis. This is why I've been saying, allow things to unfold and allow that spring inventory to hit the market and you'll be able to make a much more informed buying decision. Now, this also has major implications on the tech industry that we're going to go over here. So right here, when we scroll down, we see that the FDIC standard insurance covers up to $250,000 per depositor per bank for each account ownership category. Now, when we scroll down here, we see that since 2008, this is the biggest financial crash and it's actually the second largest bank to collapse. Lehman Brothers, they're an investment bank. So when we look at this data right here, Washington Mutual collapsed in 2008. They had assets of $307 billion. Silicon Valley Bank, $212 billion. It is the second largest bank collapse in US history since 2001. Now, that's a CNN article. Let's go over here to the Washington Post. Right here, the only publicly traded bank focused on Silicon Valley and new tech ventures. So right here, SVB Bank was deeply embedded in the US startup scene. According to its website, it did business with nearly half of all US venture capital backed startups and 44% of US venture-backed tech and healthcare companies that went public last year. A lot of the startup tech companies are going to feel the pain with the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Now, let's go through this other article here. This is why I want to show you why it's going to have big implications on the Utah housing market. Right here, we see, according to the newsroom siliconslopes.com, we see that with more than 6,500 startup and tech companies in Utah. Tell me this is not going to impact the Utah housing market. We have a tech sector, a big tech sector. We have startup companies. Are the startup companies that are in the Utah real estate market going to be affected? At least some have to be. We don't know exactly the implications that this is going to have. I mean, look at all of this data information. I mean, this is just nuts. Right here, Silicon Valley Bank collapse sends tech startups scrambling. This is a CNN article. CNN article. Right here, I want to show you something that is pretty dang crazy. So right now that the bank has folded, I just want to know what happens next. Ashley Turner, founder of health food delivery company Farmbox RX, told CNN in an email, the FDIC covers $250,000, but am I going to recover my whole 8 figures? This is going to send shockwaves just by that statement alone through the tech industry. Tech industry was already being hit hard. There were layoffs, there were hiring freezes, and now we might have startups that are not able to pay the bills. What kind of impact is this going to have? And it actually gets even worse than that because the fight against inflation that I'll cover a little bit later on, there's a whole lot going on here. Right here, see, the Fed chair Jerome Powell says interest rates are likely to be higher than previously anticipated. Well, if interest rates are going to be higher than anticipated, and that's what caused the crash right here, the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, right now, the Fed is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do they pivot? But if they pivot, inflation is out of control, which means then they would have to tackle inflation again here in the near future. Pivot too early, cause issues with the economy recovering too fast, overheating again, which it's kind of happening right here. Take a look at this article. right here, this is also a CNN article, we see that the US economy added 300,000 jobs in February, outpacing expectations. Now, when we scroll down here, we see that coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the Fed's first rate hike, we never thought we would see the economy churning out 300,000 more jobs this month, said Chris Rubke, chief economist of FWD Bonds, in a statement. The party is on and the labor market is having a blast. The economy clearly is not landing. It's soaring. Isn't that going to cause issues? Right now, what do you do? I mean, you don't fight the war on inflation. The economy is going to keep overheating. Right here, the monthly job gains remain well above pre-pandemic norms when roughly 180,000 jobs were added per month between 2010 and 2019. And right now we have 300,000. So what is the Fed going to do? That's what we have to pay attention to. They meet March 21st, March 22nd. Are they going to pivot? Are they going to just hold off on the rate increases? Or are they going to still do that 1/4 or 0.5% rate hike? The economy is hurting. There's a lot of uncertainty. And the thing is, nobody knows what's really going on. And there are multiple bubbles. There are multiple industries that are under fire right now. And we have to pay attention to what's going on in the economy, what's going on with the inventory, what's going on in the housing market. Let's let some of this information unfold. I've been saying this, wait for that March inventory to start flooding the market. Wait for that spring inventory to flood the market. Let's wait for March to be done so we have more data, more information to make a better purchasing decision. Again, Dinko the Realtor has your back when it comes to real estate in Utah along the entire Wasatch Front, the greater Salt Lake area. Make sure you smash that like button. It'll really help the YouTube channel grow. And if you need to get a hold of me, my contact information is down below in the description.